It's a 10-6 lead for ENCE. They couldn't close on the T side, and now at least they get the favor of sitting back and relaxing on the defense. Cloud9 bring the heat immediately towards B with a bomb, and Shiro lurks A for a pick. Seesaw in play here. While he's been seen, they never saw Snappy get behind the corner.
Yeah, nice spot for the dual Berettas to find themselves. Snappy might make him sing here. He goes unchecked for the first, but he's going to struggle to get much more done than that. It's an important equalizer for Axel, an important trade down at the bottom of ramp. Finds the 4v4, gives a bit more room to Cloud9. Without this forward info, the whole map goes dark for ENCE.
No molly for sandbags, so Madden can find a lot of impact here.
Yeah, they're going to have to check this manually. Madden, as a result, has a lot more room than normal. Swinging out. He needs the double because he's getting chased down. Axel, once again, key with the trades. He keeps picking them up. Tap on the bomb for Shiro, trying to force fights, trying to see if any util rains in over the top. It won't, so he's going to commit to the plant now. They're out the elevator, they're looking to fight him. Dual Beretta's up close, trying to move in. dycha looks to squeeze on him and will find the kill with the dualies. Just left to Nafany, but he's making the clutch happen. Trying to run away, but NERDZ hounds him down.
Yeah, you can't escape NERDZ, man. Not on this map. We've seen so many highlights from this dude on Vertigo alone. Very nice try for Nafany, but NERDZ was right there, ready to hunt. Hits the back of the head on the escape as well. Easier said than done. If Nafany stayed to fight, maybe there's a way for Cloud9. And that's after Madden only going 1-for-1 at sandbags. You feel like that position deserves more damage. dycha with his dualies continues to impress, but ENCE take the pistol.
Really important also because it looked like both Snappy and Madden could have gotten more than one, so we're feeling a little bit scared at that point, and here it is, the force by the 5 Galils. We heard a lot of players come onto the cast and say this is actually really difficult to deal with when you're on the CT side. Players becoming more proficient with the Galil, Harry.
Yeah, you know, I think as well, it's even just awkward because the CTs need util, right? And even that like throws you into a weird place because you're going to have some players with SMGs, they're better at closer ranges, but up against the Galils, they're able to play a bit of a range game, so... You know, these rounds, this is something that you've said before. We've had IGLs up here, and, you know, players even, like, echoing the sentiments of you play these second rounds, these force buys, just like they're real gun rounds. You have to. Got to come into it with a game plan. You need this round. It gives you a good berth into the lead. And right now, it's kind of hanging on by a thread for ENCE with a lot of damage done to Snappy to open up. He can't re-swing at ramp. He can't look for these trades. And so Cloud9 are allowed to build into this 3-on-3.
And this is where they struggled almost throughout the series, right? On their T side is where ENCE was always one step ahead. Now they seem to be in a good position, right? Only dycha to deal with here, but that's a big fight for him to win.
And he drops off as well. He can go back to Anchor B. If he realizes they're heavy in mid, he could even take space towards stairs, towards Tetris. They're creeping him down right now. NERDZ, will he get the spot in time? He runs the whole way. Axel hears it coming, and that might beckon them into the A site to finish off what they started. Snappy or dycha, where do they go? Wrapping the backside through spawn, but no time for error. dycha has to make concessions. He has to make a gamble, and this is the right read. Closer towards the B stairs. 10 seconds they run in. He can't get the kill, and that's a plant and a very difficult round for Snappy on 10 health.
That was kind of worst case scenario for ENCE. I think if anything, you were maybe hoping they go A. Snappy can like gimmick his way to a 1-for-1 on low HP and then set up dycha with health in a retake. But yeah, that got really cooked. Cloud9 play it well. I like that they go through CT and middle, kind of gauging the contact they get given. And that one's going to hurt for ENCE because NERDZ, the hero of the pistol round, right, runs through middle the whole way and ends up giving over the kill that tips this into an even odds bout, leaves that huge gap in mid and makes life very miserable for the ENCE squad.
Yeah, Cloud9 got really good timing because despite dycha jumping up and getting a kill, that didn't change the pace at all. They just continued to walk forward knowing that he wouldn't re-peak. And so their timing out mid was far better than that the NERDZ could expect. 1-1 immediately. Those Galil rounds, not easy as we know.
It's also a shame, you know, Nerds only saw one player, so dycha was still worried about B. You know, if he can stay alive, look at the time. Like, if he doesn't die instantly, Cloud9 pretty much, you know, it's going to be very difficult for them to plant in time. And that's probably a bit of lack of communication, you know, either Nerds not being aware that mid is open and they could have been there. But granted, Cloud9 just hit very good timing too. And one more time, despite losing pistol, they win the second round and are in a good position to take control of the economy early on.
Yeah, I think the saddest thing as well about those rounds, especially when it's on like the first pistol and the half, is, you know, you don't know how much you needed that round till it's already too late. Snappy getting run down at the top of ramp. And they find a way into the even trades. This force by 4 ENCE, the return, you know, with a force of their own, has started off all right. They've traded out a couple of these kills on the ramp side. They've kept it even at least. And so now, you know, you're going to judge them on the accuracy of the gambles that they take in this moment. They can't win it playing like a split. They have to be together on this low buy. And with that man dead in the sight, the follow-up kill found by Shiro. It's all left onto dycha, taps out the first, but up through short, Buster stops him from making miracles happen with the 5-7. And so the force buy will not be the key back in for ENCE. They've just got to take an eco now and stew in the fact that Cloud9 are going to start building early.
And that's massive. We saw also in the game against Mouse for Cloud9, right? Like, they had the same thing. They lost pistol, won the second round, they were 3-1 up, and then again it was a little bit rough in the gun rounds. And in the post-game interview, we heard from Nafany and Group that Hobbit was instrumental in, you know, them sort of becoming more solid during Vertigo, saying, hey, let's not overthink this. We're the better players. Let's just not be afraid to take fights. And that's when they were able to string a couple of gun rounds together. So momentum really important for Cloud9 at the moment.
Especially off of winning that last map as well, and the way they did, 10-3 on CT side comeback. Hobbit needs a couple here. Makes it as expensive as he can, but they will save an AK. Unless Buster goes running. He may as well, considering we're going into a gun round. If he chases, he has the chance to upgrade.
And I wouldn't be too worried about ENCE in terms of, you know, getting too disheartened because they lost the second round. Just like they did on Overpass, we saw how mentally resilient they are in that game versus Vitality, right? I mean, they had 2 gun rounds back-to-back where Zywo gets an ace and a 4K, and they still managed to stay in it, break Vitality, and grind out a win 16-14.
Oh, dude, that's so sick.
That's so much damage.
Taking him out with the nade.
Yeah, they even threw a second one, man.
Yeah.
His goose was cooked over on short. That was a really nice way to make sure he just doesn't get out with the AK. Nothing's given for free by Cloud9 here.
Over the top as well.
A 76 damage nade, nice.
Wow. And if that didn't get him, the second one certainly should have. 3-1. Great lead for Cloud9, but Sampaius has got the AWP.
Yeah, he's got the AWP and the spawn. That's like that is the best way to don this first AWP. He's going to be moving around on the short side, looking to take this real estate. He's not peeking it super actively. There's a smoke in his way, so he's just holding the gap underneath. His teammates have boosted at the top of ramp. ENCE is structuring this ramp hold around just getting this kind of opener, getting this first kill. And then they can decide whether they want to stick around and fight or just fall back, go through the motions in the site. But they really want the opener. That's why they bought the boost out. Trying to give the illusion that the ramp fight is coming from the AWP at short. And eventually they've got to disassemble that boost. They can't hold it forever. You've seen players get walked up the ramp side from close. And that can be a double kill at times. So they have to get it gone.
Yeah, they don't want to get flashed off or double swung from yellow and ramp, and then they just both fall. Struggling to pick their targets. Cloud9 bring the AWP back to A, and that will be heard, so we won't have any more ramp re-peaks. Just the fear of Shiro here is enough. 45 seconds. Cloud9 have top ramp. But that bomb, you'll notice, is not here to stay. Missed shot for Sampaius, and with no armor, it's an easy mow down for Nafany. He's going to look for a little more on this fake AWP grab over the top. Nafany just needs to live here because Cloud9 have already taken mid with a smoke and are splitting this B site. Nafany's causing such a ruckus. Nice kill on the rotate, but it might just be the save for ENCE.
Bomb's coming back, though.
No.
Hang on. Yeah, look, they've had to change this on the fly. They never actually had B. They just had the mid-split component and one man over towards the ramp side with both of them getting dealt with. This one's starting to fall apart for Cloud9.
Ow.
You thought Nafany had done enough. 2 kills over towards A. He was meant to set them up. But ENCE have battled back in. Cloud9 gave them some fights across the map, and ENCE took them in their stride. ENCE end up being the victors in a 3v5. A round that they had no business winning, but a couple of key fights won over towards mid. The fear put in Cloud9. They changed their mind late. They try to rejoin with Nafany, and then the worst case scenario happens. The lurk player that found 2, that was calling for that bomb to come back falls, and they lost all A control. With it, they lose the round.
That's a bit of a fumble there by Cloud9. You know, it seems they were a little bit indecisive, or actually those kills changed their call, really, and then it was just too late to make the rotate. A couple of important kills from ENCE too.
Well, bless them.
And we'll see, you know, some players with a slow start, but he had a couple of great Vertigo games. I always go back to the one in Rio against Vitality, right, where he had, I think, 30 kills or 30-something kills, and he's extremely mobile on this map. Very difficult to predict where he's going to go. So hopefully he's not too affected by this slow start.
That ramp smoke looks really low. Did it bug through the floor? Or is it one thrown by Cloud9? Doesn't look like it. They're working it either way. I think it might have been Nafany's smoke, actually. I can't tell. Either way, Cloud9 get that ramp. Orb is here. Nafany's been using a lot of Molotovs, but they have none left here on Cloud9. This is a hard fight to win with a rifle. But at least Hobbit's here for the trade. Just waiting for a swing with a flash. Both anti, in fact.
Low utility for both teams. Will come down to aim duels. Some players will probably be able to do some work here.
Yeah, an AWP without utility to punish him is an AWP that you really have to pay attention to. They've got no proper way to displace him. Those smokes are going to go over to try and help you get the site control, and as they move up with the flashes, they're kind of pincered by the short play. Sure, they've knocked out Madden, but they don't know about the AWP. Sampaius needs to find his impact, and he's bested. Shiro wrecks him in the head-to-head. The double short side setup's been uncovered, and Cloud9 picked this round apart.
They had a feeling, man. I don't know what caused it, but they had a feeling that was there, and they just completely bypass it and go towards ramp, and crouched on default to cover the plant, guarantees it, and even after they kill Madden, they're so ready for a second. Shiro can even go back and take that kill. Beautiful round out of Cloud9.
I think that round's going to really hurt Sampaius. You know, he's going for like the kind of delayed contact over towards short. He's hoping that the fact that he hasn't swung, hasn't given it away, that's going to let him go on some big multi-kill later in the round and he can be the hero. But he just gets hard cleared, hard cancelled by Shiro.
I think the problem is also with only Madden having contact and then Cloud9 not seeing any other player on A. They expect one more guy to be yellow, and then they're just playing 2 guys there, so it wasn't, I think, too difficult for them to expect an extra player there.
And now Sampaius getting picked first as
Dude,
well.
this is, yeah, he's had a bit of a stone cold start here, right? Even that fight, I know he only has the deagle swinging ramp, but we saw it from his POV. He didn't feel like he even peaked Shiro. He kind of just jiggled the ramp.
0-3 in opening duels right now.
I mean, you know, yet to have any impact is Sampaius. And then exactly as you mentioned, Yanka, you know, he is an AWPer who can command games, especially on this map. We've seen him do it before, even with, you know, the Movistar Riders in his previous team. This was one of theirs too, where he could just dominate the scoreboard, take control of the game single-handedly.
Great grenade. It blew the AK out of the way as well, so ENCE, who were trying to grab it desperately, couldn't. Cloud9, this is exactly what you would have wanted from them to begin this game, losing the pistol, yet still going 5-2 up off of that force. ENCE's first timeout.
You know, this is problematic because you're kind of, you know, if you're Snappy here, you're just hoping that some Pius can find his way back in. You know, like you can make moves to try set him up, to try build that confidence, but at the end of the day, it's going to come down to him individually. And I think he just needs a win, right? Sometimes you'll have someone go like on some ludicrously kind of rough losing streak where it feels like every peak they're taking, they're falling. And oftentimes it is just that one fight that they finally win, that one swing kill that can bring them back into the game a little bit. I mean, hell, Hobbit was almost a case study of that after the first half of Overpass, right? He had a really rough go at it, starts to find his footing a little bit with one important round in the second, and then suddenly he becomes a big part of the game all over again. ENCE can't do this without some Pius. They need him online.
And C9, they're going to go for an early B execute as well. They throw that ramp smoke. They've been taking it quite late. And so ENCE don't know for sure that this is just a fake out right now. They're waiting the smokes. Snappy can peek over it, but C9 run boosting. Oh, they failed it. Might not matter. dycha still gets a lucky shot, should we call it. But Cloud9 and numbers are ready to go. Nerds, that's a great reposition, but the one-way smoke, they may have even seen him through it. Shiro's looking for this pick and the right angle. Nerds gets tucked in close, but I think they're aware.
Yeah, it looked like they just caught him crossing. They just saw him on that cross. And so Madden moves in from middle, but he's going to have to do something miraculous if he wants to be the saving grace of ENCE. Flash out, Madden with the swing, brings Axal down low. And now it's just left to Snappy. Him even moving over in the 1v3 is a desperate look. He's hoping they give him a fight there, but caught in middle. No love for Snappy. Cloud9 with another round.
Just saw a little smile on Nathani's face as well. I feel like the crowd being behind them is going to be a helpful extra as well. Cloud9 are feeling egged on in this third map. The last time we saw that was back at Dallas. And we all remember how that went for them over ENCE in the grand final, 3-0.
Poor Buster though, dude. Like,
yeah.
Why is he the one who dies there? He's like the third guy.
Full
behind.
random as well.
Yeah.
Back guy, like exactly. The last man in.
Always the way.
And another tough round for Sampayas, right? Like he goes for the peak. They're 3v4, wants to equalize, you know, give his team a shot. But Axel just waiting for that push, peeking above the smoke. And, you know, if you're ENCE, the game is starting to spiral a little bit out of control now, and it's too early to be desperate, you know, and just throw yourself at Cloud9 and do something crazy. You know, you need to be patient when you play against them, right? Like, and I think they're aware of that. Might have just lost track of it. You know, Snappy was talking about how strong their fundamentals are. Vertigo especially is one of their comfort zones, and you know, ENCE did win 10 T-side rounds in their last 2 games on Vertigo, but that's difficult to replicate game in and game out, right? I feel like they won't be able to do it 3rd time in a row, so they need as many rounds as possible. I mean, at this point, probably even 5, 6 would be really good considering how the game is going for them.
Nathani has been command and control on ramp as well. It's delayed takes almost every time for C9, but he is always at the front of the pack, finding these opening kills. Good grenade combo from Shiro and Axel. They dump Madden, Hobbit clears. He sees a Shadow Force second and Sampayas falls. So C9, as it should be in this round, keep it nice and breezy.
I do think though, because Heko was also talking about, you know, Cloud9 tried to have Axel on ramp a little bit and Buster on B, and it didn't really work out, so they put Axel back on B. I think that's the play. Your star player shouldn't play ramp. Because there's so much smoke spam and everything, it's like, you know, how much can you really contribute there? Can you you know, it's not the same as Banana on Inferno.
Yeah, it's
right. Like when you have like a guy like Nico there or Flit for outsiders and they can make plays. Here, there's just so many smoke fights where you know the skill difference doesn't really matter as much.
It means you can play retake rounds on A as well, which are like the key rounds. If your actual A ramp hold isn't going well, you're giving up bomb plants. Axel can win you rounds.
There we go.
Finally, the first opener, the first kill. Sampayas is in the game.
Now ENCE is coming back. They're going to win this round. make it competitive, win a couple of rounds in a row, you know, and realize the world hasn't ended. They're still in this game.
They need to do right by that pick, though. Cloud9 fail a boost, so they don't go back to it. Triple nade, and dycha, hey, he is pretty healthy, all things considered.
Dude, I think if you're dycha and you've been triple naded, you're rubbing your hands together, right? There's no way they're clearing this now, surely.
I mean, they weren't perfect nades. Were they meant for him, or were they behind the double box? He seemed to take very minimal damage. He was on the left side.
Yeah, but he was playing the left side of Tetris, right? So kind of absorbs it. Sumpires, another kill.
Patient.
This guy was 0-9 coming into this round, but a couple of steps in the right direction have teed ENCE up nicely. And you can just see like how different it feels with him finding some success. This round has finally given ENCE a leg to stand on. Snappy with the ramp aggro, locked in this fight. Shiro only has the deagle, and Snappy bests him. Nafany's gonna try the trade. Full W held down as he embarks on the 1v4.
Go for it. He probably won't, but nothing to lose on this one. They've got a good bit of money. And even if he gets one more kill, that's going to keep the finances low. But yeah, saving the orb, nothing wrong with that. ENCE are going to find their third. And mostly off the back of Sumpires, but still nice double from Snappy, bottom ramp, on and off angle.
I like the little mind games. You know, he gets a kill early on in mid, and Cloud9 tries to work B a little bit, and then they go back to mid, expecting Sumpires to move, right? Usually you get a kill like that, an entry for free more or less. You move somewhere else to try to, you know, keep having impact. And he just takes a more passive angle and stays in there.
Malta's going wild today, boys. I don't know what's going on out there, but they're having a great time. They're cheering for Counter-Strike right now, and that's what we love. A nice intimate setting. I saw some fans getting to experience the set as well. Chad was giving out tours, had a 1v1 earlier. It's a nice place to be. It's a nice vibe. Oh, no one taking the shot. Shiro will still tag him. Snappy gets caught by Nafany, who's been doing this all half, climbing up either side of the ramp smoke, causing problems. 14 and 5 for the leader. And he's on for more. This kill would be a backbreaker. Thank goodness Sumpires hits it.
Big one.
Huge.
That is a really quick reaction. Like, he's low on health. Nafany has the advantage there, but Sumpires makes it work. However, here's the reply. Now it's getting a little bit curious about the B ramp. Gives Cloud9 the man advantage. Forces a fight. The ENCE now, in hindsight, feel didn't need to happen. They left a man down, and Cloud9 are taking space after that kill over towards ramp. They've grouped with 4 here. This is the A play taking shape.
Sumpires is searching mid, and he's getting information that no one is there. But I feel like ENCE needs to pick. We're going to play for A or play for B. Right now, they're in a really tough spot. Madden has a lot of work to do.
Madden's got to do it. He's got to be the man. Good flash to set himself up. Pops himself in for that fight. They've mollied him, but he's playing ahead of it. Madden tagged once, backstabbed by Axel. Arriving a little later up the ramp on that lurk. Even damage to dycha with a nade. Softens him up, but that swing, that swing's given over the equalizer.
That's hit on dycha.
Now they want to give it a go. Kit is on the bomb. Kit is on the bomb.
No
Buster's missed the spray. They're sticking it, and that's a robbery! dycha! The absolute madman runs in with nothing but a Kit by his side and a smoke down.
Sumpires wasn't even trying to help him. He's too low. He's too far back in spawn. That's a 1v2, essentially.
And man, you know, you've kind of been, you've been feeling bad for Buster throughout this game, Yanko. But that round, he had the opportunity. He could have stopped the defuse. He could have won it for Cloud9.
Look how wide he is off the plant as well. That diffuse string, that wire as far as it can reach.
Why is Axel peeking there, though? Did I miss something?
On the short side?
Yeah, it's a bit strange. Too early to go for such an aggressive play, you know?
Low health as well, jumping the gun. Cloud9 throw away a post plant. And ENCE, they're just scratching at the door right now, trying to get out. Trying to get into this game. They might have something here.
I think this is going to start hurting, man. If you're Cloud9 and now, like, if you take another L here and now, this is going to be ENCE really building. Turns, but no one was looking!
Ow!
Nerds was not supposed to get out of that looking like the better man. That was designed to deal with him. He was served up on a silver platter.
Keep feeling bad for Buster because the days aren't getting easier. They're in B, though.
Yeah, dycha moving into a site that's already been taken, but he will win that first fight, turning the tide, tipping the scales. It's all starting to build for ENCE. Nafany's been great in this game, but it's a big clutch required. And he only gets one. ENCE right back in this thing after all.
Yeah, I take back what I said about the crowd cheering for Cloud9 now, as ENCE kicking up a storm, kicking dust in their face with the last 3 rounds in a row, and very tight ones at that. Nafany with a chance to line up a double here. Important trade for Madden to make sure that doesn't happen. And he's leading the fray with dycha as well. What an off angle for Nertz. I mean, that's part of the reason that he gets away with murder there. They don't check it. They're not ready.
I mean, I thought he was going to be dead for sure, because he sees, before he turns for the flash, I think he catches, you know, a pixel of a Cloud9 player, right? So you're thinking by the time he turns back around, I mean, they'll see him and they'll get the kill. That was a massive 2K for him, and with signs of life.
They can win the half.
Dude, the thing that's kind of scary is, like, I would kind of make the argument that maybe like 3 of these rounds that ENCE have featured some errors from Cloud9, right? I think, you know, you have Axel swinging in the 3v2. You have the round where they start going towards B, then they change their mind, try to go back A with the bomb. You have that round that just went down where they don't spot Nertz, who's just not moving right in front of them. And so in a way, like, you know, ENCE, don't get me wrong, they've capitalized on every one of these opportunities. But if you're Cloud9, you're left with this feeling that you're kind of letting the Barbarians back in the room.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like Cloud9 will get 11 rounds, maybe
right?
even
It looked
12.
like they were going to run away with it.
They were very dominant, but now the game is getting close. Luckily for Cloud9, their economy was super strong, so they can keep rebuying. They have everything they want in this round, too.
Oh, he knows, and he'll take him as well. Nafany continues to bring the heat on the A ramp. Snappy is so low. Spam, nades, even a gust of wind will remove him. He's going to take the AWP and reposition. Pius not even able to play his weapon of choice. Snappy's got to hit this first kill as they cross in. The flash is perfect, though. They don't swing, however. A delay by a Molotov. There goes the swing. Snappy didn't see it. They went below the scope.
Yeah, doesn't know about it. Pius has found one in the meantime. Nertz with a bit of smoke spam lends a helping hand. Up on the boost, Snappy still yet to see anything. And now with Axel dead, Shiro's tapped out the bomb. They look to run him down. They've given him one fight here. Hobbit still back at the ramp. And Shiro's repositioned. They're going to leave a little lull in the action. 30 seconds. The bomb taken away. And there's Snappy to close over the boost. Finally given a chance to get involved. And he takes it.
Surely ENCE aren't going to win this half after how this game began, right? Pius
playing, you know, ENCE, another good call. I think that was absolutely necessary for them in that 4v5 with Snappy also low. Just stack A, you know. If they go B, you can save. And if they come A, you have a chance of winning a round. That's exactly what happened. Unfortunately for them, Cloud9 with another buy. I think Madden doesn't expect an AWP there. You know, he knows they're buying maybe, but maybe doesn't expect an AWP.
And it's an expensive way to learn that lesson, right?
Yeah,
like, oh, they have the AWP.
Good angle.
Now 4v5, and with Buster, that's a nice off angle in mid. Nertz was not going to get any return on investment there.
Hey, Pius, can I get your AWP? Can I have your AWP again, buddy? Again? Another round?
Let's see this tag B now.
He'll surely get naded here or something. Cloud9 have been using a lot of util. That's a top ramp smoke.
Yeah,
so
playing default is like really ballsy at this HP.
they don't need to respect that smoke at all.
They're going to go through it.
There's a nade.
Has repositioned. The nade brings him down to 2 HP, but he's still alive. Still a threat.
way.
Could rob the round. Does a bit of damage. Brings it into the 2v2. Pius has been struggling. But if he... Oh, never mind. Wrapped up close. Can't stop the bomb. It's Snappy in this clutch. The leader of ENCE trying to set the example for the rest of the troops to follow here. He's got Axel and Hobbit to beat. I don't know where he is. He's got an all right timing on the backstab, but Axel turns at just the right moment.
90-degree flick, and that's still in the half as well. That's a huge round to suck the momentum out of ENCE at this point in the game after a big streak in the middle of the half. It's going to force a pause out of ENCE. 3 out of 4 in use, and Cloud9 at least give us the goods here. I mean, that's a massive trade on Nertz too, because he was ready to get a multi-kill from that position despite his health.
Absolutely, that was the most important frag of the round. Sampaya is still visibly frustrated. I don't like this timeout. You know, it's just the last round.
I was thinking the same. This is going to be a long game.
Yeah.
If you're going to come back, it's going to be long. You need pauses. They've got one left now.
You're moving to the T side, right? Which is usually where you need more timeouts to figure things out, especially if it's in the second half and the CTs have the advantage with a lot of saves, a lot of gun rounds being played. But yeah.
They're also, you know, not coming into it with the best buy anyway. So, you know, maybe
Well,
maybe
that's
this
exactly
is
why
like
you
the
want the
usage
timeout,
case,
right?
Like
you know you don't have an ideal buy, so you want to make sure you don't just throw it away because you have 3 SMGs, and well, that's not a good start.
No, that is the worst way it could have opened. And that's Buster's second kill. He's kind of been locked in this eternal struggle versus Nerds over in mid.
They're going to trade this, you think? They're both walking up close. Oh, how's that a miss? It looks dead on to me. No. Snappy's going to have to save the day here. 12 bullets in the mag. He moves back. Cloud9 agree. They say have it. We've got the advantage. We've even got a lurker. Axel has cleared the B site and dycha waits on and off angle, but this might be too little and it might be too late.
If you're ENCE, you're happy with the room they've given you. Now, if you were able to win that fight in mid, maybe there was something going for you here. Shiro swung and dealt with over at ramp, and AK and the AWP in the retake, 2 versus 3. But I think the problem that ENCE are going to have here is mid's been lost for so long. Cloud9 could even be pushed into CT right now with that deep smoke in. And so they're going to have to spend a lot of time clearing these angles. They're sneaking earlier than normal. They're paranoid about close players. Hell, they're even checking the spawn behind them through A. This is going to cost you a lot of time off the clock, and time is not their friend right now. Swinging out, Madden realizes risks have got to be taken, and he wins that first fight. Hobbit teed up with a flashbang, but Madden still puts up another, and so Buster, from bottom of the board, has got to be the one to walk it over the line, and he delivers! What a round to find 9 for Cloud9 in this third map.
But let me digress and maybe I'll press on to the next journey. I've been yelling for some help and I know that they heard it. Rock solid all times and I'm down 10 toes for the ones that deserve it to earn it. Sunshine through the blinds of my life feels straight, but I know I'm for sure not perfect. Patience, hustle, got everything off the muscle. Pain, love, those are the things that I juggle. Hey, go win. Through the pain and the struggle, I survived top 5, now I'm going with the win. Hey, I'm going in. Right here, right now was a whole lot better than the place I've been. Man, I gotta be stronger, wiser, better than I was before. Gotta stay on guard and I know that's hard, cause I don't know what's in store. Maybe I'll go where to, don't know. But when I'm back against the wall, I'll be good.
Don't be afraid of the dark, be careful with stars. Not every light is gonna guide you, baby. Don't let them rain on your spark. Keep it close to your heart. All of the pressure's gonna drive you crazy, 'cause you rise to the madness. In the morning, it's all gonna vanish. Don't be afraid of the dark. Be careful with stars. Not every light is gonna guide you. Not every light is gonna guide you.
Yeah, when I blow up, I'ma soar high like Peter Pan. In real life, be living out my dreams. If I'm waking up, it's in a foreign land. Whole wrist covered up in ice. Dealership, never ask the price. I hit the mall and ball with my dogs. Yeah, I swiped it once without thinking twice, cause this what I was made for. Man, I know this what I came for. On a big stage, couple thousand people, and they do whatever I say so. Have chicks that color of the rainbow. Yeah, chains on me like Django. Be
Making magic when they need it most. A brawl of a first half sees Cloud9 get out ahead. A little resurgence towards the end from the ENCE squad, who were at one point down 7-2 on their CT side. They were able to finish it off with 6 rounds to their name as they swap over. T side, they've actually done good work on here in the Pro League, have ENCE. They've been able to get 10 rounds at it both times they've played.
That's what they need.
Just the same thing they did
itself.
versus Vitality and G2, right? Not too much to ask. 10 rounds, T-side, Vertigo.
Yeah, it's only Cloud9. It's only the map they've been playing since the dawn of their inception. And with Shiro and Axo in form, Nafany finding fights on the A site, this is easier said than done. A pistol is everything for ENCE. Madden spots that push. He's got nades as well. He's got to be careful. He's seemingly for the sandbags or the boost. They might not make it that far. They could dunk them on Shiro.
I mean, this is exactly what ENCE did to open up their pistol, so they need to be ready for Shiro. They won't check for him at first, but they get the trade. However, critically this time, unlike in that first pistol round, Hobbit was able to keep this in the advantage of Cloud9 swinging out from short. And so ENCE left a man down. They don't have that util left over either. Snappy was dealt with in all those fights. And so they were left with one smoke out of the pool of util they came into this round with. It's gone out now, but ENCE both committing up short. They're trying to move in. Nafany gives them a little fight, gets the info that they're both coming up the short side, and lets these dual Berettas try to take over.
Careful here. This is winnable.
Yeah, in a pistol round, in a 1v2. But he's looking to do his best work, yeah, rerouting down ramp, 30 seconds here. Buster already starting to rotate over towards that B site, and Nafany's just cleared out ramp.
And that's a confidence push from Nafany, right? That's playing to win instead of playing not to lose. Going out for the information. Buster also just tucked in, low HP.
He can't go
Probably,
for it on his
I think
own.
he's going to wait. He has to wait for Nafany here.
Oh, he's giving him the
Danger.
fight. He's giving him a chance, but he nails
scary.
the shot. It's a big risk for Buster to be fighting there, but a team ace for Cloud9 in the pistol.
But we talked about it in the pregame on the couch, right? What's a quality that Buster has, that at least it looks like it from the outside? He doesn't really care about the pressure, you know, he plays the same no matter what, and that's difficult, man, when you have like a bad game, sometimes to no fault of your own, you know, you're just running into setups, or maybe your teammates aren't supporting you well, right? It's easy to get dejected and to play even worse, right? But he's still playing like the same way, right? Like he had 1 or 2 kills for the first, I don't know, 10, 11 rounds of this game. Hits a really good shot there. Win the pistol round for Cloud9. And listen, this core of Cloud9 in 2021, where they came onto the scene really as Gambit, they were 36-6 in that year on Vertigo. I mean, that's an insane win rate. So they understand the map really well. They're comfortable on it. This is going to be tough for ENCE. This round is incredibly important.
Okay, this smoke is on purpose. Maybe we can show it. ENCE are throwing it so it goes underneath the ramp. It's Nafany was throwing it as well in the first half. It means you can actually fight in this ramp smoke. That's really interesting. Yeah, it like bugs under the floor. And so it sort of gives you a one-way to bottom ramp.
Oof. Missed boost.
Yeah, little audio cue. Axel might have been able to hear that from B, and that's a nice bit of info. The bomb is one of these 2 players over in middle. And so Madden isn't going to stick around, but he will siphon an M4 out of the round, taking it with him and regrouping with the rest of the gang. Pious with a lot of room over at ramp. Now, they don't have a way to clear the sandbags yet, but dycha is moving around, and if you look at his util, he does possess the Molotov that could give them the safe passage up through ramp. Nafany's got a smoke, sure, but that will telegraph the position. Alternatively, Pious can just check it dry, but they're going to wait for the molly. And Nafany probably not expecting the Molotov to be in play.
Nice try.
Caught out, burns after one. 15 seconds now as the push looks to come in. Cloud9 have got 2 players here, but Axal is deleted. Shiro could have saved it with a stray bullet. Doesn't want to fall even more damage onto Pious, but he just gets out with his life still intact.
ENCE aren't going to throw away this post plant. They're all grouped together. They're not over-facing right. We had that round where Axal was the one swinging out in a 3v2. ENCE will not make that mistake. They're waiting for a flank as well.
Cloud9 don't have a smoke either, so they've got to tap this bomb. They've got to force the fights, and then they've got to win them.
Wide.
Tap on it, forces a little swing up through ramp, but it's assisted with a flash. I love the ENCE leave nothing to chance in this moment. They've cleared the bomb out again, and so Cloud9 are just playing for the backstab.
He didn't get on
Shiro
it. He
with
didn't
all
get
the
on it.
kills, but Hobbit wasn't defusing. It's so close. He's just got it. What a play! Shiro with the backstab. And Hobbit with the commitment to the defuse. ENCE were never ready for that.
That looked too late. That looked just too late.
ENCE just got rare atomed again, but this time by Cloud9 in a last-second retake.
It just looks like a save, right? Like dycha's double-checked it and no one's on it. He doesn't see a second player and no one is considering the late look. Pious is bottom ramp. He's already trying to run away. There's no flank. There's no time for it. He's walked all the way through short. I mean, that's a mistake on Pious's part. No one's watching it. And Cloud9 somehow find a way with less than a second on that bomb. I thought Hobbit was too late, man. That you couldn't be cutting it closer.
Oh, that's just soul-crushing for ENCE, isn't it? You lose the pistol, you have the advantage in the force buy, right? And to lose it in the last second. I mean, I've been saying that they have good mental resilience, but I think this is a little bit too much, right? If they don't manage to win this round and get the reset on Cloud9, I think that's where Cloud9 just closes out the game.
Yeah, a reforce for ENCE. Balls to the wall. They're going to crunch middle. Hobbit's already prepared for this contingency. There's 2 players at B. Bus is going to be put under the microscope as well. Spots that boost, knows what ENCE are up to. Hobbit throws a flash, but his molly's still ready. ENCE will try and explode mid to B. dycha's at the stairs waiting. Hobbit gets his util out, but ENCE weren't committed yet. And this is such a nice setup for Cloud9, not just Shiro spotting. He literally doesn't even need to fight, but he probably will. ENCE are going to be able to jump over Con, but that's into the stack.
Snappy moves out alone, returns fire onto the M4. Won't actually commit to middle. ENCE are trying to fake this one out. They've mobbed in the cross smoke. But because Hobbit's been holding it, and he was holding it over the top of like the railing, he knows that no one made it up onto construction. Buster has missed this a little. Tries to flick back to it. They know he's up close and his teammate's now dead. Buster's left fighting for survival, but they're not looking at him. Nerds runs in, gives one over for free. Thankfully, Snappy will collapse upon them from middle. At least goes 1 for 1 in his dying breath. There's an A-lurk from Pious, and yet still Shiro looks ready for it.
Nafany must have called that he's like swapped positions with this play. He must have realized because Shiro is too aware for his own good. There are kits on the site. dycha holding the flank, and with Nafany this low, you'd like to think there's no way. And Shiro's also been bypassed. Pious not just gets past Nafany, he gets past Shiro as well. But this could still come back to bite ENCE.
They're dying with the bomb here. After that last round, no one's going anywhere until the round is secured.
What a weird round, because Shiro knew that was coming. Nafany gets an exit, but that's it. And ENCE will win the force buy that they had to stay in this game.
He's just resting.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how Sumpires got there. He was like dueling it out with Nafany, trying to keep him honest. And still Nafany got a flank. That's impressive enough. But that info is not enough for Shiro to win the round. If Sumpires goes through elevator there, that's a retake C9 can play for.
And I want to praise, the composure from Snappy to sort of delay the call. They wanted to do that mid to B, but he probably realized it's pretty obvious at that point, so delay it a little bit, go back to A, you saw Nafany was playing for info. That causes them to move.
Double mid setup. Ooh, Snappy finds the 4-on-4, and now the action might come to a bit of a halt in middle if you're ENCE. They don't want to risk falling into the clutches of Hobbit.
And again, this is an ENCE smoke here. This is not C9 trying to take the ramp. They will attempt to use it. Nafany knows where Sumpires is playing. That's a good shot, though, from Shiro. Gun in middle to grab a molly that goes too deep. Nerds holds on to the weapon, and he will find one. Trade is good for C9. We got Snappy low in this round, and they're split up. They're isolated. Snappy's going to group up with dycha, who is tasked with taking space, and he knows he has a bit of room. Scout spotted on A, Hobbit seen in middle. dycha will take that space on the B site.
Hobbit's not going to have this info. He's playing for the late middle. Shiro is eventually going to clear it for him, perhaps, from elevator, and then maybe Hobbit's freed up a little bit more. But for now, this plant's going down to B, and Cloud9 will be left in the retake. That much is a guarantee.
Pulling back as well for dycha, playing it a little safer, but now he is the one on the clock. A headshot angle behind the wood, he won't play it. Drops for a flank clear. Now he knows they're likely together. C9 still haven't given away the info of Shiro's position, but they don't have a kit, it's worth noting. He's throwing a random smoke to try and fake them out, to try and draw their attention, but Hobbit's not buying it. Nade for the plant will be a little bit of damage, and dycha's got to find the double, but Shiro executes him with a headshot, and that's going to be another round for Cloud9. The reward of the force by ENCE will only be temperamental.
I think that one hurts as well because it's the same tag team that robbed you of a round now stealing back another one, right? Where you get into the post plant, you've got an empty B site, but then of course Snappy is caught crossing, and bruh, like out of all the ways for Shiro to close that, it just feels extra brutal that like dycha didn't even feel like he really got to show up and fight in that 1v2. The first time he played his cards and showed his hand, he gets annihilated on the jiggle.
Oh, these are really good B flashes. Pump and dump, but 2 CTs here.
Yeah, Snappy's already up. This is an up-tempo round out of ENCE. They're trying to slam the hammer down with a B play. dycha secures the open, and Buster's still here fighting, and he's got a bit of support with Axile moving around to join him. Smoke dropped in close, keeps the pressure on. Man moves past it, but Madden's given over the kill. The tips the scales back in favor of Cloud9. ENCE thought they were getting aggressive, but that privilege belongs to the Cloud9 crew in the retake. They waste no time coming through that smoke at the generator. Madden kind of rolled out the red carpet for them.
Just a little bit of impatience, it feels, from ENCE, right? Like they went for those lurks maybe a little bit too early. They got the side, they have the bomb down, it's a 4v4, right? Like no need to rush it from that point on, but again, you're counting that Cloud9 still has a lot of utility, the A guys at the very least, so you don't want to just let them execute a full retake, and just continuing to force, really getting into desperation territory here.
And this has been 5 bomb plants in the half as well, right? 4 of them being defused retakes for Cloud9. Every round down to the wire, literally. Nafany.
They don't actually have the util to clear sandbags, so Nafany can just hang out here till the end of the round. Makes his presence known now, and so they will start to home in on his angle. Only good for one. Top ramp taken by ENCE. Quite the feat considering they didn't have a lot of util in this round.
Shiro's playing so audacious as well. Deep peaks ramp early, retakes it, goes over the boost on his own. He's really trying to find fights. ENCE have awakened the beast, poked the bear.
And I mean, ENCE have got these 2 smokes for the exec, right? But as they throw those down, Cloud9 are playing with 2 players ahead of the exec utility. So Shiro's not going to be locked out of this round. And neither is Hobbit. Missed shot from the Orcs. He fires off on the short side, but now he reroutes. Now he plans all over again. Dead to the swing from Suns Pius, and Buster lost in the source, in the sight. Just Axal in the blink of an eye. This one went south real quickly for Cloud9. And even though he's hanging around, wins the first. He's getting spammed, whittled down. And so he might just have to make a hasty exit here as ENCE keep this afloat, keep the pipe dream of this alive. And it's with these 4 spies, they finally break through with a round.
It's actually crazy how they still find ways to win rounds, right? You're just wondering if the couple of rounds that they've already lost so far, is it too much? You know, is it too much to ask for? I think right now they would be happy with overtime, even if they could get to there. Still a lot of rounds to be played. We'll see what decision Cloud9 makes here, whether to buy or eco. They're taking a timeout to talk it out. Looking at the money bonus, I think they should just eco here, you know? Like, you're not gonna love the fact that you're giving ENCE a sort of a quote-unquote free round, although we've seen on Ancient, these are not free. But I think you need to look at your own economy and how the rounds have been going, right? Like, you're playing better on this map. You have a lot of experience on Vertigo. You don't need to force the issue here, right? Because if you force by here and lose, then you eco, it's 13-10. Your buy at 13-10 maybe isn't amazing. And then, you know, you're just giving ENCE an easier way to come back.
Opening kills right now at 7 for ENCE in the entire map. Shiro and Nafany are 5-0 and 4-0 respectively. So these guys have been huge openers for Cloud9 across Vertigo. We've seen that especially on the A ramp on both sides. Triple boost, but the AK in the power position. This is a very tall setup. It's still a tall order for Cloud9 as they won't even get face towards A.
Yeah, I like that Nafany is fighting down the ramp. You might think, like, well, why are they dedicating so much here? But not only is he going to get the info as to whether or not they're coming, but it's like, if he faces fools, that's a bit of an invitation into the A play, into the triple boost. He'll eventually leave. He sees nothing happening over at ramp. And so he'll just leave that A site to the 3-man tower that currently owns it. Rotating out through middle into a lost mid setup. Snappy's already there, and the nade's going to blow Shiro out of the round. Axel started to move over, but then he thinks to himself, why would I even try? It's not worth it. We can't win this one. It's kind of what they expected coming into it.
If ENCE win this game from this point, that would be just a crazy comeback, considering we talked about the 10 rounds they found against Vitality and G2 on T sides, and that was obviously what they required. After a 6-round half, this is their 3rd. But this is up against such difficult odds.
Yeah, I mean, dude, you know, one of the things as well, like, if you look at it from the other way, if Cloud9 go on to close this out, I think one of the things that's going to hurt for ENCE, especially if they make this map close, is this feeling that throughout this series, they were only a handful of converted pistol rounds, had they actually found conversions, away from a victory, right? Even if you think back to Overpass, which obviously Cloud9 go on to kind of run away with towards the end of it. Still a pretty close game at 16-12, and that was with a failure to convert in one of the pistols. They didn't convert that first pistol round here either. Well, actually, they stole it back with the Force, but yeah. You know, if Overpass had just gone a little different, it could have been a very different story in this game. And so now playing their hearts out, trying to keep Vertigo alive. Trying to keep it consistent on the T sides. They've got a man fast up short. Snappy is here real quick. Madden tries to come through the smoke, but that's going to give the first kill over. Nafany still so clean in these opening fight stats. Constantly finding 5v4s for Cloud9.
Yep, 10-0 between him and Shiro. Might have a slice of the pie. Shiro does fall for that kill. on the sandbags, but it is traded swiftly. 3-on-4 for ENCE. Looking like a standard A round, and this is what Cloud9 are so good at, the re-aggression. Is it at the right time though? Dycha looks away, hops back up, and gets stinked, but he finishes that kill. It's even the odds now for ENCE. The nade on Buster is big. Dycha right now has the bomb. If he goes for the plant, he may be punished. Buster is here, but he's playing ahead of the util. ENCE still looking for a pick into the site. No one's going to give it away.
When he's playing ahead of the util like this, Buster needs to go 1-for-1 at bare minimum. That's what we need out of him from the short angle. He's currently holding the yellow walk up, waiting for a man to round the corner. Now flicks his attention back towards Ramp, but he's just got to hope he picks right. This is a game of timings for Buster here. Hobbit! Never mind. It's never even going to come down to Buster. Some Pius is throwing the AWP out of the map, trying to win it with the M4, but goes creeping into Buster's crosshair. And so Cloud9, it comes together beautifully in the sight hold. ENCE melted through a smoke by Hobbit.
And that's the first round in the entire half that ENCE haven't planted the bomb. It comes in round 23. 7 in a row, but now Cloud9, they've ditched the money of ENCE. This is it. This is the game on this buy round right now. There's no AWP either. If ENCE don't win it, it's going to be set up for Cloud9 to close. This round is not live. We will be resetting. Tech issue, but that's fine.
I like that we have a little timeout here, so we actually get to kind of home in on. I really just want to say Nafany's been sick throughout the playoffs, man. He's been putting up numbers like this more often than not in their playoff games right now, and often it's felt like it's when it really matters, when really kind of you're in those high importance, big gravity moments. And he's been a dependable piece, and I think that could be the difference maker here for Cloud9. Because, we're getting Hobbit looking good, winning some rounds every now and again, doing what he has to do. That round, even in the last, doubles up through a smoke. So he's fairly consistent in this third map. Buster's really recovered, who, as we were kind of talking about earlier, he had like 1 kill by round 10 of this game. He's risen up through the scoreboard in a very big way. Shiro, you're going to get numbers out of this guy. And so, like, with Nafany just giving that extra, 30% right now. It's making a world of difference.
It's worth noting as well, Cloud9 were the only team who got seeded to the quarterfinals to actually win their match. Every other roster, Heroic, Forza, Vitality fell to the more warmed up, the more prepared, the more battle-hardened opponents. Nafany, another opener without a problem. Shiro, he's been silent for a few rounds here, but Nafany's got his back. Brothers in arms at the top of the ramp. Cloud9 find a 5-on-3.
Under the smoke, he's getting away with more. Nafany, a 4th in the round. The captain rising to the occasion. He wants to leave nothing to chance. He will do it on his own if he has to. 15 rounds, 1 away, 5 kills away for Cloud9, and an appearance in the grand finals of ESL Pro League Season 17.
And even though we don't know their opponent, right, FaZe Na'Vi, we'll find out later, this is still a conversation of Intel Grand Slam. Cloud9 are one of the few teams with a notch on it as well, with the option to even become the Kingslayers, the first ever, if they face and defeat FaZe in that final. It's a long shot away, we don't even know yet, but Cloud9 are in that conversation right now. Buster finds an opening kill. And it's untraded at that. ENCE storming middle. They grab the rifle. Snappy needs to take matters into his own hands. But Cloud9 keep up the pressure with flashes, nades, mollies. They throw everything ENCE's way, trying to close this door. It's been a fantastic run throughout the ESL Pro League for ENCE, but it might be ending here.
Yeah, they're starting to lose face all across the map. Shiro moves into middle, Dycha up into the B site, but Axal waits for him with bated breath. This is not as safe as he thinks. and the bomb is now away from ENCE. 2 kills separate Cloud9 from the grand finals, and they're going there. New heights as Nafany rises to the occasion. Alongside him, Shiro, Axel, Hobbit, and Buster with a redemption arc that we're all envious of. What a turnaround from this guy. What a match, and for ENCE, disappointment setting in. This one starts.